Warsaken.
All right, here we go. Taking on Rexy. The pro with my microphone, if I boost it too far, the static gets to be off-putting. I've got some new cards in play here. Sergeant Taven Reed, got the Shattered Ground Weather. So I did a little bit of selective buying on the secondary market. Some of these had like 2 or 3, or I wanted 4, like the Suit X. Anyway, there's a nice look at cards I'm not going to play initially, so I'm going to take a mulligan since nothing matches. Mulligan Reed shuffles my arsenal, my deck is 60, deals me 8 additional, that's more like it. The DXC up in here. Keep. This is the Rustic Wall game mat that I'm using here with this deck today. So the computer randomly chooses one of the 2 players to go first. In this case, it's Rexy. Rolled a 6. Pair of force cards. 2 sets of 2 force. 2 actions to go for the turn. An intel card to end the turn. My turn. 6. Well, this will work. Play the weather cards, Geomagnetic Disturbance. So give me an extra turn. I have 3 actions to go for this turn. Play the DXC. Force. Savage Escalation.
Select target.
Force match allows me to eliminate one of my opponent's 4 territories. Speaking of Savage Escalation, it's a set 2 Savage Escalation territory here. Brotherland Fields. Eliminate. Extra turn. 1. Somewhat unusual in this particular circumstance, not want to play anything here, but I don't. I don't think playing anything here is going to work in my favor. If I had a weather, I might have considered throwing it out as a one-off, but I'm still not sure if that's a good idea in general at all. Nevertheless, pass it up here. I'll have a weather to throw out. In turn. Taking on Rexinator, who's using the Warmonger game title there. There's a force match. This will eliminate one of my 4 territories. And a weather card play. That ends the turn. My turn. 2. Weather cards. Talked about this. The Savage Escalation. This is Shattered Ground. Earthquake. Now, for the purposes of Warsaken Blitz, it's just a weather card. The specifics on there apply to the full Warsaken game. Blitz being the simplified version. Makes it easy to learn the game. You just have to figure out these 6 categories, which are not that difficult to figure out. And morale, more often than not, won't be a big factor in Blitz, the way it is now, at least. Your building cards, your force, your intel, your weather, your WMD. And you look for the insignias, the emblems there, bottom left of the cards. You start with a leader card, 4 territories, and your arsenal, your deck of 60. Roll a 6 for Rexy. Building cards. So Rexy going back for that force that was already played. I'm guessing we'll see that Triton Ironside back around again. Indeed. So another force match will eliminate a 2nd territory for me, leaving only 2 remaining. That's it for the turn. My turn. 4. All right, so there's a 3rd Shattered Ground. It's a weather match. Again, for the purposes of Blitz, it says Earthquake, but it functions the same as Ideal Conditions or Tornado, any type of weather. Functions the same in Blitz. Either going +3 actions or usually go the extra turn. Three actions still to go for this turn. Nothing makes a match, but look at that Hydrosonic Blast, WMD. Oh, let's see. Well, kind of a weird spot here again. I don't think playing any of these as a one-off is good. It's going to work for me. I mean, 2 sets of 2 WMDs and building cards, but I don't like putting building cards out there. Those have a way of getting bounced. Pass up all 3 actions to end the turn. Extra turn. 4. I can play a building match. Go back for force or weather. Go back for force. I've already got one of the DXCs. So I would be able to play 1 this turn. Even if I got bounced, I would still have 3 additional in hand. So we'll do it that way. Glassport Radar Facility. Savage Escalation Building. Building card, if your arsenal is getting milled, attacked by intel, sometimes you might want to return 6 to your arsenal. Usually they'll be returning 3 to your hand. I'll take all 3 of the DXCs. I have a wide open war zone, 1 action to go for the turn. So I'll just play the 1. Even if it gets eliminated or gets bounced, I should say for my war zone, I still have 3 more to use, so it's not that big of a risk. That's it for the turn. As it is, it would be odd to have an intel match used to bounce 1 card and 1 card only from a war zone. I have 2 territories remaining. Rexy has 3, and it's Rexy's turn. There's the link to Blumint, BLUMINT.com. They're going to have a Warsaken Blitz tournament tomorrow. Starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 0000 UTC. If you're new to Warsaken, you're watching my streams, seeing this looks like a pretty good game, Lou. How do you play? How do I learn more? It's really easy. Go to the Warsaken Discord. There's some great people there. It's a special community. I'm taking on Rexy. Let's roll 2. There's a second intel. That's it for the turn. My turn. 3. Okay, I can play an additional 2 DXCs that will eliminate a second territory for my opponent. I'll have 1 action to go after that, which I may or may not use. We'll see. DXC, force.
Select target.
A force match allows me to eliminate a second territory here for my opponent, leaving only 2 remaining. I have 1 action to go for the turn, but so I wouldn't want to put a geomagnetic out there since the other 3 are in my discard pile. So I'll play a tropical cyclone weather card. And that will end my turn. I'm a little more open-minded to taking chances like that later in a match as opposed to early. Like a one-off with weather. Roll a 6 here for Rexy. $19 cards and 6 actions. If Rexy has a WMD match, I could be in serious trouble. Rexy has a WMD match. It's going to give me a compromise later. A force match would beat me. Rexy has 16 cards and 3 actions. So second ideal conditions, weather card, that's it for the turn. But I was not expecting to necessarily be getting another roll here when that WMD dropped. But that's what I have, my turn, 4. All right. Got some gold up in here. But the more important part is having the WMD. This will give my opponent a compromised leader. Now, unfortunately for me, I don't have the turns or even the cards in hand to get a force match. But I go ahead and play the Tactical Nuke. That's a WMD match, which will eliminate my opponent's final 2 territories. Carlos CGTV, hello. Greetings and welcome.
Compromised.
So both Rexinator and I have a compromised lead, or the next one of us to make a force match will get the win. I only have 1 action to go for the turn. I'll play a second Tropical Cyclone Weather. And that's it for my turn. Rexy just needs a force match to beat me. It's a roll of 1. There could be a third ideal conditions to get an extra turn with weather. It could be a third lockdown K1 for the win. There's also the possibility of an intel match, although I'm not sure what the approach would be with that. No play. If I can get a force match here, I can get the win. 2. Well, I'm not going to have a force match here, am I? Let's see. Check out the Suit X if I want to put some intel out there. F-12X, but the 2 I want to put out there are the 2 that maybe the actually let's go ahead and put the Sergeant out there. I'll put the other one out first so I can put the gold one on top. Problem is it's only 2, and that ends my turn. And Rexy's probably not going to roll a 1 again. It's a 3. So 19 cards. Rexy just needs 1 force match to beat me. There it is. Force match for the win. All right, good game. Rexinator victorious. Watch the Black Friday Warsaken Spectacular on NashvilleLou Live. Twitch.tv/NashvilleLou. This Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1900 UTC.
Warsaken.
Here we go, taking on Tech. Warsaken Blitz, NashvilleLou Live. All right, so the only pair that I have are building cards. So that's not going to cut it. So I'll use a mulligan. It'll reshuffle my arsenal, my deck of 60, and then deal me 8 additional cards. Or 8 new cards. No guarantee you're not going to get the same ones back. So this is pretty rough as far as nothing matching at all. So I'm going to use the dreaded second mulligan. I don't like to use it, but sometimes you have to. So I'll take a second mulligan. I'm stuck with whatever they give me, and my opponent gets an extra card. Way it works. Luckily for me, I get to go first. That's a random thing. And see, this second mulligan wasn't exactly a bumper crop of matching cards. And that second mulligan will not necessarily be the answer to your problems, but sometimes answers have a way of dropping in. So I rolled a 6 to start things off. This is the code incoming game mat that I'm using with this deck today, thanks to Biscuit, who gave me this game mat. 6 actions here, nothing that makes a match, but well, I can put some force out there. I'm really not that keen about it, but I'll go ahead and put a pair of force cards here with Specialist Chloe Moore. Let's send the Scout. 3 spots open in my war zone. 4 actions to go for the turn. Normally, I don't like to be this aggressive with force early, but I will here. ZS Wolf. 2 sets of 2. I'll pass it the last 2 actions. I'll keep those last 2 spots in my war zone open, and I'll end the turn. Taking on Tech. Remember, later in this hour, I'll be giving away another Warsaken wheel spin. Your chance to win's coming up. Roll of 1 for Tech. Whereas Tech with 10 cards, not 9, like you normally would be if you rolled a 1 on your first roll. Because of the fact that I had that second mulligan that I used. Thus, Tech had the extra card. But it's only 1 action at most here, so... limited options no matter any way you slice it. Weather card. My turn. 1. Well, speaking of limited options, I'm going to pass up that action in the turn. Tech with a roll of 5. Using the Lady Arin Diaz leader card here. And the morale for your leader, like here it says 20. You'll notice my shield is a 20. It's the reflection on the morale. There are some territories that can adjust that depending on what you use, but for the most part with Blitz, your leader card number will reflect what's on your morale. Speaking of morale, 2 sets of 2 morale. Go with a pair of weather cards out there for Tech. My turn. 6. If your morale hits 0, you get a compromised leader. So I'll have a force match and a weather match. We'll play Specialist Chloe Moore.
Select target.
This force match will eliminate one of my opponent's 4 territories. I have 5 actions to go for the turn. I have a weather match here. Violent Tornado. Take the extra turn. We'll get to that in a moment. 3 spots open by Warzone. 2 actions to go for the turn. Put some weather out there. Blinding Sandstorm. Extra turn. 3. Play the weather. Cloud cover. This will give me another extra turn. Four. That's a bit of an unusual situation here. I've got this force in numbers, but is it worth waiting for a WMD? I'll play the third ZS Wolf. That's worthwhile.
Select target.
There's a force match. This will eliminate a second territory. Leaving only 2 remaining for Tech. Three actions to go for the turn. Play a force here. I mean, it's risky, though, because if I do that... Actually, maybe it's not that risky, because if I get a WMD match, great. If not, then I'm still in position here to do some pretty strong things. Roman's Prototype. Let's do it.
Select target.
This will take my opponent down to 1 territory remaining. That's it for my turn. Some of that, as far as the risk goes, it's not like I have double of either Capture Leader or White Phosphorus Bomb. And I need 3 of them to have a match. You can only wait so long in this game. Roll of 2 for Tech. No play. A morale match would take 6 points off of my total morale points. So there's a consideration with that. Okay, I can give my opponent a compromised leader. I won't be able to do that and play the building cards this turn, but that's okay. Czar Cyrus.
Select target.
This force match will give my opponent a compromised leader.
Compromised.
2 actions to go for the turn. There would be risk in putting those out there. I think let's go weather. Geomagnetic disturbance. 2 sets of 2 weather. That ends the turn. Roll a 6 for Tech. Thinking finally. 17 cards and 6 actions. There's a morale match. That's going to knock 6 points off of my morale points from 20 down to 14. The 3 ways you can have a compromised leader in this game. All of your territories being eliminated, your morale hitting 0, or your arsenal having 0 cards. Weather match, extra turn for Tech. Here are force cards. Roll of 1 for the extra turn. There's a force match. It's going to eliminate one of my 4 territories. Will also have an impact on my morale, depending on which territory is taken out. The one with the -4 morale there was the one Tech wisely chose. My turn. 1. Alright, it's pretty brutal. Play Abdul Hafiz. Force card. That ends the turn. Abdul is in both Set 1, Genesis of Conflict, and Set 2, Savage Escalation. It's like the H5 dropship, the resource silo. There are a few cards that are in both sets, and you can mix and match as far as the sets go, as long as the title is the same. That's the important part. Roll of 2 and a pair of morale cards for Tech. I just need to get a force match to win. Let's see. What do we have? 2. How long do you wait? Let's go with it. We'll do it now. Weather mines. 2 of them. That's it for the turn. Six. I'm down to 10 morale. I believe all my remaining territories here are -3. There's a morale match. I'm down to 4. But this matters because if I had one that was -4, one more force match could give me a compromise later. Instead, another force match would leave me with just 1 morale left. Never mind that. There's another morale match. If Tech can get a force match, it would be the win. 2, but only 2. Agent Nika Devon. Tech with a huge rally, but it's my turn. 4. All right, I should be able to get the win here. I'll play the Blinding Sandstorm to get the +3. No +3 actions. I really needed just 4, but better safe than sorry on the math. Underwater Mines. I just need to get a force match. We'll bring back Specialist Chloe Moore. 5 actions to go. Specialist Chloe Moore for the win.
Select target.
That was a really good game. All right, good game, Tech. It's quite the battle. Watch the Black Friday Warsaken Spectacular on NashvilleLou Live, twitch.tv/NashvilleLou, this Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1900 UTC.
Warsaken.
Here we go, taking on Kron. Think about how that first game started for me, where nothing matched all the way to the double mulligan. And then here, 3 sets of 2, keep. This is the Dusk Mac.